and welcome to the very first episode of Prof Talks, a space where we bring our inspiring professors to talk about their experiences and knowledge. And today, for the first episode, we are honored to have Dr. Manit Mishra with us. Dr. Mishra is an award-winning professor at IMI Bhubaneswar with an expertise in consumer behavior, market analytics, and market research. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Vaibhav. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Are you excited about the podcast?
Absolutely. You made me the first one, so I'm equally excited. Yeah.
So, can you tell us something to our audiences about yourself apart from academics?
Okay. During my growing up days, mostly I was involved in two things: debates and sports. Debates used to be a source of pocket money for me, an additional source of income, and sports I was into football. So yes, but now it's mostly restricted to traveling. I love to travel. I love to drive my Jeep. So those are the two things. And then reading and movies, watching movies are some of the other things that I really like to do.
Because we have heard that you are an avid reader of books.
I love to read. Yes. Yes.
Okay, sir. So let us continue our discussion on the consumer behavior part of India. And as we all know that a field of marketing and India marketing is evolving very fast, very rapidly. So what's your take on this, sir? Like if we talk about the past few years, the trend was into social media marketing, then it came to influencer marketing, and now we are going a sort of trend into like recycle marketing, something like. So what's your take on this, sir?
No, yes. See, Indian consumer has always been a tough nut to crack, right? Because they want the best of both the worlds. They want the best quality at the least possible price. So if you look at it, Indian consumer is a kaleidoscope of contrasts, simultaneously wonderful and flawed. Because it's difficult to capture the Indian consumer, and at the same time, when you are trying to impress the Indian consumer, it's an art in itself.
Yes, sir.
But over the years, what has happened is Indian consumers have become more open about their desires. What earlier used to be luxury items has become essential items now. So from that perspective, maybe narcissism, maybe inclination towards materialistic tendencies has gone up, but the Indian consumer has gone more into, let's say, conspicuous consumption for the sake of consuming, and that is what has evolved over a period of time.
So can we also say that the rise in disposable income of people is forcing them to buy some more into aspirational items, because that was something need in the previous years, but now it has become a want.
That's true. That's true, because a lot of people, a very large percentage of the population has come out of the poverty line. So therefore, as a result, yes, the disposable income has grown, and also the way the options are available to them, the diversity of the products available, and the way the products can reach them through social media, through digital media, and as you said, influencers. As a result, what has happened is this has created an ecosystem, wherein yes, Indian consumer is tempted. The Indian consumer has money, more disposable income, and an option to go for it. Gone are those days when somebody used to wait for 10 years to buy a scooter.
Yes.
So yes, now the options are available. Indian consumer is enjoying it.
Thanks for penetration.
Yes, indeed.
So if we talk about Gen Zs, so Gen Zs are told to be very informed consumers.
Yes.
Like not even Gen Zs, the Gen Ys also now, thanks to the internet, people are being informed about what they are buying.
True.
But still, the what is marketing? It is called a force to buy something. Like if you see your peers buying something, you are forced to go that for too.
Yes.
So is this became same for the Gen Zs, or it has been evolving?
It has always been there. It has always been there. For example, think about that Onida advertisement, neighbors envy, owners pride.
Yes, sir.
So the ad came out in early 90s, late 80s and early 90s. So not that Indian consumers at that time were not influenced by that FOMO factor, fear of missing out factor. It has always been there. Probably what has happened is the impact has exponentially increased because of social media. Because now influencers are there, now people tend to show off their goods, their purchases, their visits, and as a result, what has happened is probably the impact is a lot more now.
Everything is meant to be more on social media than
Exactly. Whatever you are doing is available on social media.
Yes, sir. So is it only in the urban areas or it is in the rural areas too? Because they are, I think they are not yet being so much into the social media factor.
I
In
doubt
terms,
it. Because yes, internet penetration is still a challenge. Nevertheless, the aspirations of rural consumer is not very different from urban consumers because they have access to a similar kind of an information. So, for example, if we put it like this, that the urban consumer wants to buy a Lux and a rural consumer wants to buy a Lifebuoy, that distinction doesn't apply. The rural consumer today also has an aspiration to buy and use a Lux. So probably that divide has diminished.
so sir, I believe that gone are those days when rural people used to believe that if there is a celebrity endorsement, the celebrity might be using it. Now people are more aware that
True.
if he is promoting that brand, it is not that he might be using it. So that gap has been filled by the influencer marketing or with the internet usage as well.
Very true. Very true. So there is, but then again, at the same time, if you look at it, celebrities do have an impact. Particularly in terms of awareness about the product, celebrities do have an impact. And in some cases, it is the association because of an expertise, right? They do influence consumers' buying behavior. So yes, that is still there.
That is still there in the Indian market.
Indian market, yes.
And so if you talk about the rural market, a lot of a lot of part of the rural market is now covered by the online retails. So is that going to hamper those offline stores and retail stores out there?
I really don't think the impact would be that rapid, because if you look at Indian consumers or Indian market, uh, it is a combination of, there are many Americas and Nigerias within India, so there is space for everybody. There is space for online retail. There is also space for kirana stores. Now, for example, what is the biggest advantage of a kirana store? It is ego massaging. In terms of the fact that my neighborhood retailer knows how many toothpastes I buy, which brand of toothpaste I buy, and which family member of mine has gone and purchased the toothpaste for this month, which makes me feel good as a consumer, that the retailer has a personal connect. Now, yes, mass customization is there, but still, I feel that rural the kirana stores are here to stay, despite the fact that yes, we are gradually shifting towards, and with the advent of quick commerce, it has become all the more possible now. Right? But still, kirana store has its own role to play, and it's going to stay. I mean, in near future.
Adding a personal touch.
Yes, because of the personal touch. That is the best thing, the USP that they provide, the personal touch.
Also, we have been a consumer who like to shop and feel the products rather than just going and buying it.
Yes.
We are not being a generation of impulse buyers. Only a part of consumers have been there. But if we talk about the upper middle class, till the upper middle class also, we have been a segment that we want to touch and feel the product rather than just buying it.
Correct.
So the gap is still there, and that needs to be bridges.
That's true. That's true, and that is one of the drawbacks of online, markets. That yes, we need to, but then again, at the same time, there is something called as learning curve. Over a period of time, the consumers themselves are becoming more and more aware, and as a result, once you start, see, what does a brand do? A brand is the biggest possible heuristic. It cuts short your decision-making process. So if Flipkart has become a brand, or if Amazon has become a brand, or Myntra has become a brand, it becomes a heuristic. It cuts your decision process. You don't go through the entire pros and cons of buying a product. You just look at the brand and you buy. We are gradually moving into that phase, and that is what e-commerce is trying to do. For example, why is Zomato able to charge so much from the restaurant owners? Because Zomato itself has become a brand, or Swiggy itself has become a brand, which consumers trust more than they trust a particular restaurant. So therefore, as a result, what has happened is that over a period of time, this particular aspect has gained in strength, and that is what online e-commerce is trying to do. And that is when biggest advantage of brand equity is that it reduces that need to touch and feel, because you trust it. It acts as a heuristic. It cuts short your entire decision-making process of touching and taking, assessing the pros and cons, and then taking a decision.
Sense of trust has been developed.
Sense of trust has been developed.
So, like, still the brand perception plays a very important role in a person to develop that brand image.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is why, when they say Rome was not built in a day, images don't get created in a day, but images do get destroyed in a day.
Yes.
Right, and that is why one has to be very careful about impressions, and that is why many a times when we study marketing, when we observe marketing, we know that positioning is a fountainhead decision. Everything flows out of it.
Yes, sir.
Because what is positioning? It is creation of that image. Through positioning, you create that image, or you create that identity about a brand, which becomes very important. Because I would like to buy something which reflects my own personality.
Yes, sir.
The buying probability increases when the consumer personality aligns with the brand's personality. And therefore, perception, positioning, image, identity becomes such an important entity in our buying process.
So this thing is in us since a very long time, and I don't think it will be removed very soon. That we want a brand to display our aura. We want to be, for example, when Old Spice came, it described manhood from them. So that's how people consider a brand, that the brand should represent me,
Right.
or rather than I should be representing the brand.
True, true, true. So that is where that alignment comes
Yes,
in.
sir.
Right? Because the brand represents me.
Yes.
It's similar to me. And therefore I'll go for the brand.
So, sir, if we talk about the rural market, do you feel like some brands can change their strategies to tap those, because there is a very huge portion of that market which has been untapped right now? So,
They need to. The interesting case, for example, is that of a cough syrup. So there was a salesman who was visiting a rural area, and this salesman was of a pharmaceutical company, medical representative, and he found that the cough syrup bottle is empty, is open, and half empty. So he was surprised, how come this is open in your store and why it is half empty? So he said, my customers cannot buy a whole bottle. So what we do is, they come over, somebody who has an issue comes over, and then thereafter I charge them 1 rupee for one, one cap of the syrup.
yes, sir.
So he can't pay me more. So he pays me 1 rupee, one cap of syrup, and goes away, which is unthinkable in an urban market. So yes, rural market, some of the things are very different. The aspirations are same, but the characteristics are different.
The marketing technique is whole different.
Therefore has to be changed. Marketing techniques has to be changed.
Because a lot of changes has to be done into them to bring them over here. And I believe that rather than bringing them here, we should go there to tap them.
Right.
Because the whole mindset is different.
Yes.
The whole market is all
Absolutely.
together is different.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Why only product? For example, think about distribution strategies. Urban market is dense. You can have warehouses. Rural market, the density is low. It's spread out. How many warehouses can you have? So that hub and spoke arrangement has to be done, right? And there has to be a good, distribution network to penetrate into the rural market.
So the riskiness is much higher in those places, because you don't know how much your like bagal wala kirana wala can compete you better than the big baskets or the e-commerce.
Absolutely. Yes. True.
So that has been a very big case that you cannot predict that what can happen in the very next day.
Correct. See, mostly what happens is, if you have grown up in an urban setting, it becomes difficult for you to understand rural.
Yes, sir.
You need managers with a feel of the ground in the rural area to strategize.
Yeah, you need
to
to
deal
stay
with.
there and
Yes.
decode that market.
Yes.
You cannot
Yes.
just sit in a cabin and
Correct.
choose visions
If you
for
do
them.
not know the difference between Rabi and Kharif,
Yes, sir.
you certainly cannot create marketing strategy for rural areas.
But nowadays the D2C brands have tried very much to get into those.
Yes.
Like they are capturing the ground root of the rural customers.
Very
And
true.
that's the reason Mama Earth, for example, Mama Earth is able to cater those.
Correct. HUL's Mission Shakti,
Yes,
for
sir.
example. They started off long back, and yes, it has been successful.
So if we want to come out on the academic part,
Okay, sure.
okay. So what's a sort of advice you would like to give to upcoming marketers?
Uh, See, just to borrow a phrase from Peter Drucker, marketing and innovation are the only two things which contribute towards revenue generation. So yes, marketeers have to innovate. Right? Innovation works in a, so therefore, uh, you know, uh, we cannot remain stagnant. We need to keep thinking about new products. We need to keep coming out with launch new products into the new markets. So innovation is a perpetual process which needs to be ingrained into the system of an organization. Now, for example, take IMI Bhubaneswar as an organization, education as a product. We need to keep innovating. We are innovating in terms of what kind of courses we teach, what would be the constitution of those courses. Therefore, innovation has to be there. That is the basic aspect of it. Beyond that, yes, one needs to reach out, understand, where, for example, when we think about marketing, what is marketing? Marketing is sense and respond. We need to keep sensing what the consumer wants, stay one step ahead, offer it, deliver it.
So with dynamic way, it's not people assume marketing as a sales, but it is not just sales.
No,
And also, sir, when you talk about in the coming years, you are like we cannot limit ourselves to one particular thing. We need to adapt and change.
absolutely, absolutely. See, it's said that change
Yes.
is the only thing which is constant.
Yes, sir.
One has to evolve.
So there is a very famous quote from Jurassic World: "Just change is inevitable.
Change it. Yes.
Life
yes.
finds a way."
Yes, life finds a way.
Life
Yes.
finds a way.
True, true,
Yes,
true.
sir. So with that, we are done with our questions, and
Right.
sir, we would like to have few rapid fire questions with you.
Yeah, sure.
So here's the first rapid fire question to you. One myth about consumer behavior that needs to be busted.
I think that would be loyalty. There is no amount of loyalty that you cannot buy for a certain percentage of discount. So marketeers must realize that we keep talking about brand loyalty, yes, but it doesn't work in all cases, and many a times we have consumers' loyalty is restricted to the offering, the value itself.
Warranty and offerings.
Yes. So loyalty is a myth.
Impulse buying or planned purchases.
I would say that depends on the situation. Some goods are, require planned buying, good products which are more risky, but there is no harm in doing impulse buying.
Which is
once
more
in a while.
common in India.
I think it has to be planned purchase. We are very, very, as I said, Indian consumer. I remember, one of the very good quotes about Indian consumers is that Indian consumer is like a experienced hire. Chinese consumer is like a fresh hire. So Indian consumer weighs everything, and that is why I said the best of both the worlds are weighed. So yes,
Learn
I would
from this
say
experience.
yes.
D2C brands or traditional retail.
Both have spaces for itself. Both are here to stay, I believe. Yes, because D2C would be there, direct to consumer would be there, but at the same time, normal retail outlets would also be there. Both have their own spaces.
Social media or word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Word of mouth. It is still word of mouth is the king. Social media is good for spreading information, but when it comes to trust factor, I think it's word of mouth which has. But then again, if you look at it, it's like this. There is word of mouth and there is word of mouse. Right? Any given day, trust is more with word of mouth rather than word of mouse.
Yes, sir. Thanks to our relatives, loved ones.
Yes.
One Indian brand you believe understand the consumer behavior the best.
Lifebuoy changes, transforms. It's been in existence since I think 1895. It has been in existence, and the way they transform themselves, right? But then again, Lifebuoy originally was not an Indian brand. So if you look at it in a pure Indian brand, I think it has to be Amul. The kind of communications they generate, the products they, of course, they generate, but the communication is so dynamic and so relevant that you just cannot escape the communication. It beats the clutter.
Also, sir, I read in one of the reports very recently that Amul spends a very small portion of it in the marketing.
Yes, but the characters that it has
Yes, sir.
created, that iconic character of Amul Moped Girl,
Yes, sir.
created by Sylvester Dacuna, is is forever there.
Last question to you, sir. A book you found the best to understand the consumer behavior, and the one you would recommend us to.
A lot of good books, but I think there is a book by Rama Bijapurkar. We Are Like That Only.
Yeah, yes.
I think that's a very good book on.
Yes, sir. Yes. So that was Dr. Manit sir with us, and and this is
नहीं सर सर एक बार तू क्लोज कर ले क्लोजिंग स्टेटमेंट डॉक्टर मनित सर दिस वन
this is Vaibhav and Manit sir signing off.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. My pleasure.